As the Jets continue to slide, Aaron Rodgers has been called out by the media, including ex-Jet Damien Woody, and we're going to have to break this down as the Jets are just an absolute dumpster fire. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris and Matt here, and we're going to jump right into the video, as always, right after we do the same thing we do every video and show this Shannon Sharpe meme. Did not mean for that to be here. Guys, subscribe to the channel, or I'm just going to have this up the entire video, which actually is an incentive for you guys to subscribe, because then you get more Shannon Sharpe memes, and everyone needs that in their life. But guys, for real, obviously Aaron Rodgers has had a very strange season with the New York Jets, as the numbers look very good. Rodgers looks very good. Well, no, that's actually a lie. But he looks very good by Jets quarterback standards, and the numbers are good, on par for like 26 touchdowns and over 400 yards thrown. But for some reason, the Jets absolutely
over
suck.
4,000 yards thrown.
Over 4,000 yards thrown. I'm obviously starting off hot with this video. But Damien Woody called him out and basically said, he literally said, the Aaron Rodgers era is over. It's officially over with the New York Jets. This team is worse than the year that Zach Wilson last year was playing the quarterback position. They're just a roster. They're not a team. It's time to blow this thing up. Now, Matt, we've said specifically, you did bring up the whole, I want to say a week ago after the loss to the Steelers, that it's just a roster, it's not a team thing, when we were talking about Davante Adams calling the Jets out. I mean, they lost to the Patriots. The season's done. Everyone knows the season's done. Yes, the Packers last season made the playoffs at 2-6, and the Commanders, I want to say, made it at 2-6 2 years ago. But it doesn't mean the Jets are going to make it. Why? Because the Jets just look awful. It's not like, look, I understand a lot of the problem is they've lost a ton of points because Greg Zuerlein absolutely sucks at football and has costed the team 33 points this year. And if he had made his kicks yesterday, then the Jets would have won the game. But also Aaron Rodgers is at fault because he made a handful of mistakes also, specifically having all 3 timeouts getting burnt in the first quarter because of delay of games every single time. Matt, I think Woody's right. This era is not going to work. It's clearly not going to work. It's like if the LeBron Lakers started out with Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, unfortunately, we thought maybe the Jets finally were going to get that Super Bowl, that MVP level quarterback play that they were searching for their entire lifespan of the franchise. Yep. Can't get it. So Damien Woody is saying it's time to blow this up, and it probably is. There's a non-zero chance that Davante Adams is going to get traded somewhere else before the trade deadline. Aaron Rodgers, is he going to retire after this year? I kind of hope so. Because we need to start fresh with another quarterback. And unfortunately, this year, there are no quarterbacks in the first round of the draft. Shadur Sanders is not a first-round quarterback. Cam Ward is not a first-round quarterback.
Cam Ward is not. I don't care what anyone says.
They're going to go in the first round, but they're not first-round quarterbacks. There's a difference. Mm-hmm. The Jets need to wait for that 2026 year with Nico Iamaleava out of Tennessee and Arch Manning. Those guys are ballers. Those are the actual franchise quarterbacks they can get in the first round of the draft. Looking back at this team, every single week is the same thing. They can't kick field goals, and somehow Greg Zuerlein is still here. They're committing delay of game penalties, and it is impossible. Aaron Rodgers said sometimes after a big play, they're slow getting back in the huddle. And he said something about being lazy getting back in the huddle. How are they slow or lazy at anything? Do they understand that during this game, they have 2 wins on the season? This team has no comprehension of what a must-win game is. And the problem is because Jets culture over the years has been built up to be a losing culture. Players play for the Jets, and when they make mistakes, the players that have been there for a long time and lost for a long time, they tell those younger guys, "Oh, it's okay. It's okay. As long as you did some stuff well, though. But that's not okay." Pittsburgh, they wouldn't tell you that. Green Bay, they wouldn't tell you that. The Patriots, when Belichick and Brady were there, they wouldn't tell you that.
They would have traded you if you said that.
Exactly. The culture is completely wrong. It starts from the top with Woody Johnson making decisions on just based on whoever talked to him last. It's embarrassing. Oh my goodness. He was away from the United States and his brother made the decision to hire Robert Saleh. Chris, if you owned a football team, would you ever let your brother pick which head coach was going to be hired?
Yeah, and I don't think he's watching this, but Dave, you are not taking over because you don't know football, as you would admit. But
no, absolutely. In all seriousness, no, I wouldn't. If I own a football team, I'm going to run the darn football team. I'm not going to go become the ambassador to England for no reason outside of my friend, another rich guy in the New York area, became president of the United States, and I'm going to then go around the Jets and ask that they call me ambassador because I'm not a lunatic, Matt. I'm not a sociopath. I'm
Chris,
sorry.
It's crazy. He made Joe Douglas draft Zach Wilson because
I fully believe it.
Because of the Republican ties. Dude, that pick was so not representative of the type of draft picks that Joe Douglas makes. He just does not pick out players like that. He doesn't take the stupidly risky pick like that. At 2 overall in a draft with Jamar Chase, Penei Sewell, Kyle Pitts, actual superstars.
Oh my God.
Dude, superstars. I think Pat Surtain was there too. I don't know. It was Surtain? Okay.
Yes.
I know if that was a Surtain or AJ Terrell year. It honestly, AJ Terrell might have been there too. But Micah Parsons, dude, that draft way too good. Zach Wilson, awful pick. Woody Johnson made him make the pick. Woody Johnson, he does not. The problem is, you can't blame him for what's going on. Same thing what's going on with Jerry Jones is these old owners, they're getting old and they want to see a championship before it gets too late for them. So the problem is he's trying to just rush things, and you got to build the team right. And what frustrates me so much is, Chris, you know how much I love looking at the NFL draft, but we're going to look at this. I've been looking at the guys that the Jets might take thinking, oh, who might be there in the 20s? Who might be there at 26, 27? And now we own the 4th pick in the draft? Are you kidding me? You look at the teams around us. The Patriots are so much worse than the Jets.
It's not.
It doesn't make sense. And it scares me because I feel like what the thing that's going to happen when you make that 4th overall pick is you're going to bring in a highly talented player into the team. But it doesn't matter because the team already has so many highly talented players. It feels like it doesn't matter who the players are. It feels like the Jets are always going to find a way to do the wrong thing. And it goes back to the owner, Woody Johnson. No, we talked about it. Successful teams do not fire their head coach in the middle of the season. This could never work. You want a spark? Go start Malachi Corley. Go make a splash trade for Devontae Adams, which he did the next week. That's how you make a spark. You don't fire the head coach. This team doesn't have a defense anymore.
Go figure out the edge rusher who's holding out, who's going to give you 10-plus sacks a year.
He did that, and I think Hassan was a really big problem, so I can't give him too much for that because, honestly, he probably did a pretty good job getting him to come back in the building. But, I mean, we're getting burnt. On that last drive, Hayshawn Boutte, a 6th-round pick who, talent-wise, is a higher round pick than that, but still burned Sauce Gardner? How'd that even happen? And
Sauce looked like he was jogging.
I didn't want to say that, but it did look like he was jogging. And
he didn't care.
He turned out to the left side, and he looked like Hayshawn Boutte faked him out, but Hayshawn Boutte didn't make a move. So how did he get faked out? What did he get faked out by? And Greg Zuerlein, what time is it? It's 6:23 on Monday. Why is he still on the team? There are kickers on the street. I can go down to my local high school field. I bet you can find a kicker who is going to kick at least as well as Greg Zuerlein. So they have a little bit better resources to find kickers than that. So we can definitely find a better replacement than Greg Zuerlein, Chris.
I'd rather, at this point, I'd rather have like Adam Vinatieri, who's a few years away from Social Security, than have Greg Zuerlein. It's the second time I've hit my mic in a row.
Chris, you know who we need?
I get mad. This happened
Imagine
yesterday.
Rodrigo Blankenship. You remember him?
I'd take Rodrigo the Rocket. He likes Legos. That's something.
At least when he misses, it's funny. When Greg Zuerlein misses, it's like we saw this in the preseason. So you see in the preseason, so it has to be an area of concern. You got to be on high alert going into the first couple weeks of the season. So if he shows continued signs of regression, you know, okay, we got to get rid of this guy. He showed all those signs, and for some reason we didn't get rid of him. We sent them a warning shot, but there cannot be warning shots anymore. There needs to be actual consequences, and maybe someone's got to get benched. Greg Zuerlein definitely needs to get cut, and hopefully the door doesn't hit him on the way out, but I don't care if it did. And the Jets, they're not going to compete for the playoffs. They're going to, shuffle the deck chairs on the Titanic here, and then they're going to probably draft if they draft a quarterback in the first round that isn't Jalen Milroe or Drew Aller, I don't know what I'm going to do, Chris. Tickets, game 3 against the Patriots. Cheapest tickets were like $150. Thursday night game, Chris. Guess how much money there are. Thursday night, Jets at Texans. Guess the cheapest ticket? $35.
Yeah.
$35. I hope the lack of revenue coming in from the New York Jets is hurting Woody Johnson. I know it doesn't, because it's tough to hurt a guy who's born rich.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
to work a day in your
there's
life.
a great job. There's a great job out there called inheritance, and if you inherit something like that, hey, Chris, winning is not for everybody, and it definitely looks like winning is not for Woody Johnson.
No, it's not. The problem is, as we've said, and it's a common phrase in football, it's not like we came up with it,
Good teams find a way to win. Somehow the Jets find a way to lose in such a disappointing and embarrassing fashion.
it's not like, oh, well, the Jets are a bad team and bad teams find a way to lose. It's like,
No, the Jets find a way to be the New York Jets. Like, how? It doesn't make sense.
and obviously it starts at the top with Woody Johnson. I don't know what the hell Aaron Rodgers is talking about. Well, I've been in the darkness before.
I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah, because he locked himself in a closet and drank a bunch of ayahuasca and decided not to retire and go to the New York Jets
to just rip out our hopes and
do you
dreams
drink
the same way that
ayahuasca?
Olivia Munn did to him.
Do you drink ayahuasca, or how do you even take ayahuasca?
I think it's a tea.
Am I pronouncing it right?
It's ayahuasca. Ayahuasca, yeah.
All right.
But, dude, like Shannon Sharpe called out Aaron Rodgers. Like, full-blown called him out, basically said, hey, by the way, I hate Aaron Rodgers. Dude, it couldn't happen to a more smug, cavalier, condescending guy. Who else are you going to blame it on? You're running out of people to fire and demote. the saddest part about this
Is Aaron Rodgers is running out of people to fire and demote.
I mean, like he said, it couldn't happen to a more smug, more cavalier guy. I want to defend Aaron, but I don't know if I can, because every single week he comes out with another quote that makes it sound like he thinks he's in a movie. Like he's like, yeah, I've been in the darkness. You got to embrace it, or something like that. Like, bro, he is not Bane, bro. Stop talking. You're not in a movie. Oh my God. So many overthrows, delayed games. Cannot stand it. I'm getting fed up with Aaron Rodgers, and I can't believe I'm saying that about a future Hall of Fame lock quarterback when the Jets' quarterbacking history is as bad as it is. But I'm absolutely sick of him. Chris, do you want Aaron Rodgers back at quarterback next year?
Dude, Aaron Rodgers might be my favorite quarterback of all time, just because how much fun I've had watching him over the years on the Packers. And it's not that I don't want him back or that I want him back. I just don't care anymore if he's back or not. I couldn't care less. It doesn't feel like anything's gonna happen either way.
That's what I'm saying. That's what's so scary, because you see the 55-plus-year-olds in our comments are like, you guys are young. You guys haven't seen what the Jets can do. And I'm starting to believe them, because I can see it where I know that it doesn't matter. It might not matter who the players are, because they're still going to, like, Kayshon Boutte cannot beat Sauce Gardner. It doesn't make any sense. But there he is. There he is.
Doing warm-ups, spinning around. Like, what do you expect?
We know how talented the team is. 2 wins is, like, it doesn't even feel real at this point.
No, and Aaron Rodgers, you're right. The whole darkness stuff. You know what? You weren't born in the darkness and molded by it, Aaron. You were born with a gift that you developed. Became arguably a top 5 quarterback in history of the... You became a top 5 player in the most important position in the history of American sports. Go to the New York Jets, make this whole thing of I'm the guy to revive them, and then all you do is give stupid quotes and stuff. Like, look, man, honestly, I'm just going to stare at this photo of Shannon Sharpe for the next 5 hours and see if it makes me decide if I'm going to go to the Jets or something, because Rodgers may as well have retired in Green Bay at this rate. Like, what's the point of this?
He's hurting his legacy right now. You called him a potentially top 5 guy, and when I'm going through my quarterback rankings all time, I'm not going to do it right now, but thinking about it, before he got to the Jets, he was in like a tier of like 3 other guys, going from 5 to 7. So, but now like he's definitely moving backwards on that list, and because everyone is like, it's not going to take him out of the Hall of Fame, but what he's doing with the Jets right now is going to stay on his record like a felony, Chris.
I don't understand how Brett Favre, who was a drug addict, was better at quarterback for the Jets when he was washed up too and on pills.
I have no idea. Dude, I don't know.
Chris, the only thing I know that this is not Detroit. This is the Super Bowl.
Intercepted. I don't believe it. Why would you even ponder passing? He could take a knee and kick a 50-yard field goal. This ain't Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl. Well, guess what? As Jets fans, we are never seeing a Super Bowl. Have a great day and go Jets.